Nepal 1-2, and Nepal, they win here. They go to favorites to win this whole thing. But Benali, we've got you saying autumn and we've got Lenny saying fall. What's going on here?
We've spent too much time together. That's the issue. Almost 3 weeks with Lenny here. I can tell you've been tested every way possible.
The other question I've got to ask you is, we've all got nicknames here.
Well, this is a good-looking stroke down the ground. 6 runs picked up by Kushal Malla. First sign of aggression and a boundary after a long time with dots and singles. Much needed for Nepal.
Favorite shot for Kushal Malla. This time getting over the top of Rafiullah there. We see him warming up now. Looking to come into the attack, but Akib Ilyas just floats one up, and Kushal Malla, he's not going to miss out.
Cut away this time and finds the gap. He'll pick up a single. Good cricket this.
You get batting as well. Just again getting the boundary, whether it's a 4 or 6 early on in the over. Puts the bowler on the back foot. Akib Ilyas, he's got to work this over back now. He's making sure that he doesn't let this over get away from him.
They're doing well working the gaps here. Nepal definitely wouldn't have taken a single on that. It's a good call.
Yeah, Pratik Tavali, he moved well there, but not well enough to save the single. The man was out.
Well, the runs coming quite regularly here in singles. This is turning out to be a decent over for Nepal.
And that 6 really changes things. It changes the over, doesn't it, Manali? If it was just the 4 or 5 singles, it would have been a brilliant over. Instead, once you get that boundary in, the 6, it definitely changes things. Just talking about Akib Ilyas, what a skillful cricketer he is. He's bowling leg spin to Rohit.
An end, 12 overs gone. Nepal 83 for 3.
We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
Well, crucial part of the game now. 8 over contest to go, and you feel that they might want to try and pull it close to that 16th over mark before they try and get aggressive. A lot of batting to come still for Nepal. Zishan Maksud comes into the attack, coming in for his 3rd over. Still got Deepinder Singh Airy, likes of Gulshan Jha, who's been quite phenomenal, hasn't he, Gulshan Jha? It's going to be a wide.
Yeah, he didn't play that first game against Canada, if you remember. Then he came in for that second game against Oman and said, basically telling Monty Desai, don't leave me out of the team.
Well, the reverse comes out. Not timed, but they'll pick up a single.
Just one of the challenges with this Nepali batting order, Manali, is you see the likes of Kushal Bertel started his career opening the batting, has been pushed down the order now to do a different role. We'll likely see him coming in next. But then you also have the likes of Deepinder Singh Airy, who's there down at 8.
This is pulled away. And Khalid Kale runs around, but it's actually going to be Shoaib. It's actually going to be Shoaib Khan who does the cleanup.
Yeah, Kushal Bala just moving around his crease there. Looking to throw Zishan Maksud off.
Singles coming quite easily for Nepal here. They're slowly ticking away at the runs, and I think Oman are going to have to be a little careful.
Ability to get runs off every ball. They're looking to rotate the strike. And it allows them to turn a good over into a big over when they do get.
Oh, and gently pushed, and it should be 2 runs here. Two runs to end the over. Nepal 91 for 3 after 13 overs.
TD is supporting cricket.
Seven overs to come as Nepal sit at 91 for 3. Think we're going to see a change in the batting order, RC?
Not sure about the batting order, but we're having a change in the bowling. Right now, Rafiola is going to come into the attack, Manali. He hasn't had the best series with the ball, has he? The No Frills T20 Cup. He wasn't in the ODI squad. He's come in for this T20 Cup. Had a great cameo with a bat, but with the ball, although he's been quick, something that Oman have needed, but he just hasn't been consistent with his lines as he's a number of wides. He's really had a couple of big overs. But yeah, I would love to see, and again, it's hard. There's so much batting still left for Nepal. You've got Gulshan Jha, Kushal Bertel, and Deepinder Singh Airi. Sompal Kami there as well. Sandeep Lamichhane is out there, and he considers himself a batsman if you ask him. We talked about Deepinder.
In the ODIs, he batted phenomenally well that day, but honestly, good aggressive bat when he comes out to the middle.
I'll tell you this, Manali, I am never gonna go against the Nepali batting. Karan Casey and Sandeep Lamichhane, the amount of runs that they've scored against the other day, where it was a picture just reminding us of Karan Casey consoling Cecil Pervez after that final over where they beat us all the way back. I believe it was 2016. With a short leg side boundary for him. He loves batting against spin, Kushal Bala. He loves hitting him over the leg side. The slog sweep, a favorite shot of his. So with Rafiola bringing out the X Factor. Again, the X Factor hasn't worked with the ball yet, but he has a little bit something to him. He's a strong man.
Well, he's used his feet this time, going down the track. And I don't know how close the direct hit might have been. They do get across for a single, and it's the big man, Kalimula. Long levers into that.
Yeah, just the one thing with Kalimula, I suspect he didn't read it off the bat. I think he thought it was hit harder than it actually was. He kind of just stayed still and waited for the ball to come to him when Rohit Patel didn't hit even.
There's a lot of sawdust put down, a lot of sand, just to get us to be able to get this game in. Well, that's a big wide. Losing his line by some distance.
Let's have a look here. He's bending his back, but just doesn't look comfortable at that delivery stride whatsoever. And the other thing, a slightly slingy action from Raffiola. So if he doesn't get it right, he's going to go.
That's a well bowled delivery. A Yorker outside the off stump. He picks up a dot ball here, Raffiola. 4 runs coming off this over. He'll want to finish strong. Oftentimes we've seen that last delivery go for a boundary, and in this occasion it's an extra delivery because of that wide.
You can just tell the plan from Raffiola here to Kushal Mala, sorry. Just wants to stay away from his hitting arc. And as we have a look now, Fayaz Butt, he's being brought in from third man. I don't know about this if he's going to consist with the wide Yorkers. Just looking to see where the man went out. It looks like Kalimula was pushed back at long off, and Fayaz Butt brought in. Manali, if he's going to bowl a wide Yorker here, there's every chance this goes right past Fayaz Butt for 4 runs.
Well, he's gone for it, and it's a bit. And it didn't go away to the boundary.
It wasn't.
It has been given a 4. In fact, that's been given as a 4. 4 byes off the last delivery of that over. 14 overs gone. Nepal 99 for 3.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Well, we had said he wanted to finish strong, Raffiola, and in the end, it was 4 byes. Doesn't go against him as a bowler, but it's 4 runs nonetheless added to the Nepal total. They're now 1 run away from bringing up that 100.
And we're going to see Zishan Maksud out of the attack. It's going to be Shakil Ahmed. Some more left arm spin to Rohit Patel. It's been somebody, Rohit, the captain of Nepal's league.
Oh, this might be a wicket here. It's gone high up in the air, and he's put it down. Oh my dear goodness. This has gone down. And it should have been a regulation catch. It is no one else but the skipper, Akibilias.
Yeah, no one else to blame, does he? We talked about the captain of Nepal being in decent form, but Akibilias, he's given him a gift here. An early birthday present for Rohit Patel. He's an opportunity to kick on from here, but Akibilias, you can't look around, mate. Nobody else to blame.
Well, this one goes straight down the ground and straight into the hands of the fielder. Not a very costly.
He picks up a big wicket there of Kushal Malla, who eats left arm spin for breakfast, lunch, and dinner when it's his day. Today wasn't it, though. He straight to Ayan Khan, who takes a good catch. Akibilias, not sure what he was doing, but Ayan Khan, he was well up for it. Takes a decent.
Nepal, 100 comes up. 4 wickets down.
Yeah, 100 thanks to the drop catch, but there's a good contingent of Nepali fans coming in, Manali, and one of the fan favorites, he's just walked out to the middle there in Gulshan Jha. You saw the ovation that he got. They were
Well, even on a cold weekday such as this, we've got Nepal fans in the stands here to support their side. Diehard fans, very passionate about their cricket. Come out and they support their cricketers in good fashion. It's always lovely to see how the Nepal team go around and just, say thank you. A round of applause to their fans. It's nice to see them appreciate the effort that the
there quite a number of times.
Well, it's well bowled. Pass the bat through to the keeper.
You'd have to say Shakil Ahmed. He's been a star for Oman on this tour. A couple of times he's picked up the wicket off the first ball. Canada, Aaron Johnson shied away from taking striking in the game against Oman because he didn't want to face up to Shakil Ahmed.
Well, it's a slog swept, and it's got the distance. It's going to go for 6 runs. Good looking shot this from the skipper, Rohit Patel.
Targeting the shorter side, we talked about it. For the right-hander, it's only about 60 meters out there. Playing on the far right wicket number 4. And Rohit Patel got all of it. Didn't get much air, but flat 6. Down to the Nepali fans as you see the flags waving in the stands.
Oh, he's getting in for the reverse. He's out. Ball's missed. Half a shout. So much happening in that one delivery. It's going to be the end of the 15 overs. Nepal 107 for 4.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Azad! TD, ready for you.
What do you think, Lenny? Dynamic duo potential right here?
Yeah, 5 overs remaining.
Batman and Robin?
You sense again, mate, it's game on here, don't you?
I do.
It's hanging in the balance. Gulshan Jazz been outstanding all tour. Rohit Paudel, the skipper, finding a bit of form. 25 off 26, that maximum he definitely needed. And if they're going to attack someone, I think it should be Rafaela. I know he can bowl quickly, but often it is the pace on the ball that will end up going the distance. Gulshan Jazz, he'll be positive. What can him and Paudel do in this last quarter of the first innings? And he's going to start with a wide outside off stump. Great to have you back with us, Matt Bonner, in commentary. Andrew Leonard here alongside you. As Arsalan said, the Lambu Dai and the Taklu Dai. Plenty of the fans, I was just up there asking for you up there. They're saying, where is Lambu Dai? But a quick story about these. Into a soaking wet Toronto at 9 p.m. last night, desperately worried about whether or not they would get play today. Have you ever seen such dedication from a group of fans?
I don't think I have. That is dedication. You know, we get signs in the NBA sometimes, like, I traveled all the way from China. It's my birthday. Can I get a picture with Tim Duncan? Never me, unfortunately. But you know what? I might have to make a pit stop over there on my way to the Momo truck and say hello and thank them for their dedication to the sport and the team.
I think that could make their day, Matt. I'm not going to lie. But incredible shout out for those four. That's Upendra.
You ever been to Louisville?
No. But obviously I know it's the home of the Kentucky Derby. Is that right?
It is, as well as the University of Louisville, where my sister was an assistant basketball coach, I think for 5 years. They have a very good women's basketball team and men's basketball team.
An outstanding stroke. Who else would it be but the skipper? He's got that right out of the screws. I said pace on the ball could travel. It's the larger side of the ground, and it's still 6.
Nice job pulling left. Listen, I told you this has dynamic dual potential. I'm sensing an energy. I mean, the crowd's all pumped up. And we've seen this Nepal team get hot coming down the stretch of their batting order, trying to get something going. Manali talked about trying to hit that 140 mark. We'll see if they can do it.
Well, I think from this position, 140 would be really disappointing, Matt. They're thinking about 160.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm talking about.
160, I think that could be really tough to chase for Oman. Great credit to the ground staff, though. This pitch is swept to the short side, got 6. Then he's tried to innovate and reverse it. Last ball he hooked it away for 6, and now he's tried to scoop for 4 or 6. Sometimes maybe just better keeping it a bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just trying to keep the fielders off balance. But I'm a big fan of, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it, for sure. You got something that's working, keep going to it. Until the other team make the other player, the other team make an adjustment. And then you can adjust.
They've lost 2 games.
Yeah, they've been in a position to win every match. We talked about, like, going through a lull, a lapse, usually in the middle of overs, it seems like, with this Nepal team, but overall it's been really fun becoming a fan of this team due to their fans embracing me with the Lambu Dai nickname.
It's the last time we're going have you with us, and to be honest, Nepal aren't playing tomorrow, so what does it matter?
Yeah,
for you.
That's true.
I'm only joking, but it has been amazing. Like, the outpouring of love, an immediate outpouring of love towards
Hampshire. We have the White Mountains, a fraction of the size of the Himalayas. But you were showing me some of the sites and describing what it's like visiting Kathmandu. Sounds awesome. I would love that experience someday.
Poor old Rafiola's struggling here. He's just not getting the landing point he wants, and the umpire may have to step in at some point here and say you need to get on with it. Remember, there is the possibility of an over-rate penalty. I'll explain this one to you, Matt. As this one's pulled away out towards Dufferin Street. See ya, says Matt Bonner, because that's all the way for 6 more.
Another 6. Heating up, dynamic duo. Nepal. High pressure moments, and he just seizes the moment. Seems to like those ones kind of coming right at him where he can turn, pull it left. So if the bowler has too many false starts and it's taking too long, you mentioned there's that penalty where they will pull someone in at the end.
Overall time of the inning, so it's not for the 1 over. If this 1 over takes 8 minutes, it doesn't matter as long as they're quick enough.
Gotcha.
But they have to be able to pull it back. I think
going for 2.
Yeah, they should get their pedal very quick. Woo! Then the umpires can adjudicate on that penalty. End of the 16th. It's nearly the perfect score, but not quite. I'll tell you why, Matt. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
Needed the 5.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch.
Together, Rafiola's being expensive, isn't he, with the pace on the ball, and with Kali Mullah having 2 left and Ahmed Fayez but also having 2 left, you'd suspect that maybe it'll be those 2 that will close things out.
I would suspect so, Lenny.
So 123 for 4 overs left to work with for Jan Powdell. Ja swings and misses. We saw 140 be almost exactly par yesterday, didn't we? That was kind of, you could tell it went all the way to the just 3 balls left in the innings. If Nepal were to get 160, you'd really fancy them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you do talk about how much the conditions on the field and the air yesterday being very humid, heavy air, very wet field, cloudy, so didn't really have a chance to dry out. Makes things a little more difficult. Today, much more ideal conditions, despite the cooler weather, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely chillier, but when the sun was out, it was almost a little bit pleasant over with those Nepal fans. Bit different now, it's clouded over again.
Yep, my last rotation, I mentioned those clouds coming in. And
now, this could be a chance at mid-on, and for the first time in this entire tour of Canada, Gulshan Jah has fallen for a single-figure score. He's been simply exceptional, the young man, with his all-round skills throughout, but he's been bounced out by an aggressive delivery from Fayez, but Rafiola takes the catch, and it's a big, big wicket.
It sure is. Kills the momentum for Nepal. They kind of had things going there. Just didn't get quite full contact on that. Full swing, full power. Take a look at this replay. You saw it kick when it hit the ground.
He
Couldn't get the full extension.
Just got cramped for room.
Jammed him up.
Gulshan Jazz gone for 2. The score, 1, 2, 3 for 5.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
So just checking a few things there whilst we're on the ad break, Matt. It's not an hour and 20, it's an hour and 25 minutes that they have as the allowance to bowl their 20 overs in. Now, it's actually not bowl the full 20, it's start the 20th over. That's what you've got to do. As we see, Dipender Singh Ari to the crease. He's straight into his work with his fast hands.
Watch out, Seagulls.
By our calculations, Matt, we are at the end of this over, we're going to be an hour and 25 minutes into the innings. Now,
that's the limit.
It is the limit, but what the umpires build in, it's actually the reserve umpire that often keep track of this on the radio with the umpires. They'll build in allowances. Now, those allowances will almost always be for lost balls or for injuries to batters. I don't remember any injuries to batters or fielders really in this innings. We might have had one lost ball, so they might bake in 2 or 3 minutes. But with still 2.3 overs to bowl to get to the 19th over, the 20th over, the end of 19.
How strict are they, though? You go hour 26?
It depends on the allowances. So, you know, they'll probably have given a minute for...
right, but even with the allowances, is like
no,
that's the absolute deadline?
And then if you haven't started the 19th over, that's when the 20th over, that's when the over rate penalty will kick in. If you haven't started the 19th, Oman, I think, could be in here for 2 overs of over rate penalty. We're going to keep an eye on the field. At the moment, there are 4 inside the circle, which is the usual way at this stage. But keep an eye on those umpires in between each over. If they go over Taki Bilias and say, look, you've been too slow, you've got to get an extra man into the circle, it'll free some space up for Nepal to play with. Good Yorker from Fayez, but difficult to dig that out for Rohit Paudel.
This has been a non-issue this entire series. How rare is this occurrence?
It's occurring more and more often in the modern game because both the ICC is the global administrators and the MCC as the guardian of the laws. They're trying to speed up play. They actually brought in, it's not a full innings timer, but what they brought in the most recent World Cup down in the USA and the Caribbean was a 60-second timer between overs. And if you didn't bowl that first ball of the next over within 60 seconds, you got 2 warnings, and the third time it was a 5-run penalty. It actually happened in one game as well, and it was critical because USA were playing India in New York. As Paudel loses all his shape, works it into the leg side, won't get the second. Come back and finish that story at the end of this over. It's 17 bowled, 1-2-5 for 5.
As a business owner, you have...
So Matt, I was just telling you about that story of the Group A game in New York between India and USA. Massive crowd in, amazing occasion, and the pop-up stadium, 35,000 seat temporary venue they built out in Long Island. It was quite remarkable. Took seats from the Formula One, and they didn't bowl their overs in time, and they were given first warning, second warning. Manan Patel was out with a shoulder injury. USA had just beaten Pakistan. Aaron Jones was the stand-in captain, and the 5-run penalty swung all the momentum and took the game away from them. That's not in play here. That was just for the World Cup when they had the timers going, but it shows how big a deal it can be.
How aware are the players of these timers? Because I don't see a clock anywhere.
Won't be in play in this game. It's not in all T20Is. It's in major televised T20Is.
Yeah, I understand, but like in that situation with
big
the Americans,
screen.
So they know
big screen,
it's
yeah, counts
down.
it down.
They're trying to
starts at 60, goes all the way.
So they're starting to speed up towards the end to try to.
It's in between every over.
Yeah.
Every over you've got to be quick. Edged away, going to be 4.
There we go.
Bit of fortune. Kali Mullah back into the attack. Paudel gets another boundary, gets good reward for more aggression.
Kicking things off with a 4. Take another look. I'm so impressed. She just nicks it. This velocity. It comes off that bat going backwards. Just doesn't seem like the physics should.
No, it's not. It's the bat that's had a little bit of the inside edge fallen off it. Robert Powdell, I'm pretty sure, is going to be calling for a new bat here. I thought it was the bail flying. Now, hold on.
It looked like you got a piece of the ball. What happens if you get a piece of the ball and the ball still hits it?
Now, it was a free hit. We've missed that entirely. So obviously Cally Mulla, the ball before, he overstepped. It was a no ball, it was a free hit, and that's the perfect example. You can't be out, and you can even
you mentioned it. Take a look at this ball right here. Right in at the ankles.
And that means that Nepal have got themselves into a little bit of trouble. They keep losing batters. Not happy, but he's got to go. Tapendra Singh Ari, the latest to fall. It's 131 for 6. Well, this is quite remarkable. Kushal Bertel, in his first 45 T20 internationals, he opened the batting in every single it, gets a little bit lucky, and he gets an immediate boundary. Behind square enough to get 4 means Powdell will get back onto strike. How impressed have you been by him today, Matt?
Yeah, super consistent. Really keeping the focus, because that's what we talked about, these lapses. But he has not had one. He's been locked in. Mental toughness, especially at this point in the series too. Four matches in 5 days. That's not easy under any format.
Banged into the surface again. Powdell can't judge the bounce. It doesn't look a bad wicket, but it does. support. Got to get you to a game someday in Kathmandu, Matt. That's a life goal for me now.
That would be amazing. How many people go to those?
Well, I'm going to actually show you a little clip here.
Pretty big crowd?
There was a game last year on March 16th. They usually sell out the TU International Cricket Ground, but this particular game was to get them to the Cricket World. Oh, that is quite brilliant. What a way to go to 50. That, for me, is the shot of this No Frills T20 Cup. It's the reverse scoop over your shoulder. Around 130 kilometres an hour. Take another look at this. Look at the way he opens his body up, adjudges the bounce, and it's just a flick of the wrists. That is quite sensational.
So you're using the
Seba is giving back to the community, making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no frills thing to do.
Going to be 6 more. Kushal Bertel getting in the act now. Straight is the place to hit there, and a few of our staff just about avoiding that. Not far from our commentary tent either. Bertel all the way down at number 8, showing he is power too.
Nepal heating up.
Talking about those crowds that they get in Kathmandu. I'm just showing you a shot of that day on March 16th last year. I reckon there was 20,000 in the ground. Wow. And at least another 10,000 outside the ground. As Bertel ramps it round the corner, he's going to be caught by Shakil Ahmed, who's looking straight into the sun, so he does well to hold on to that. You've got to respect Nepal. They just keep going for it here, don't they? But Butt has picked up a 3rd wicket to his name, as the innovation, the ramp round the corner, doesn't work this time.
Take a look at this replay. See him trying to go for that reverse. Just right to the gully. The gully? Is that the gully?
It's the leg gully, yeah, or kind of you call it a short fine leg fielder. It's a defensive position. So Bertel falls for a very quickly made 11, including that big 6. It's 148 for 7.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
I think these last 2 overs epitomize T20 format, Lenny. Just going for it, taking risks, action-packed.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. And secondly, I actually want to give Nepal a bit of credit. To work with, you got 11 batters in total, and they ended up scrapping up to 139. They did lose those 4 wickets in that kind of tough period, but they weren't really playing aggressive strokes, were they? It wasn't like they were living by the sword. They were just kind of nudging it around. They weren't going anywhere.
That's right.
Monty Desai just showing how brilliantly he turns things around. This one cut away. They'll think of the second, but they won't be able to get it. Rohit Paudel in bringing up that 50 in what today is his 56th T20I. his numbers are even better than you'd think. Just a lot of the performances he's put in have been in not full internationals. Player of the series in that West Indies A tour last year. It's a 7th career T20I 50, and as so often for Nepal, when Rohit Paudel goes well, his team go well.
He's a leader with the bat. And also kind of what you said with regards to the shift. I think that's a sign of good leadership. Being able to recognize that. We talk about making adjustments within a series. So important. Trying, if you want to bring home that cup. You know, to be able to look at yourself critically and say, what could we have done better? And then actually implement that. Communicate it effectively, implement it, get everybody to buy in. So important.
Yeah, just remarkable. I think he's just 22. Good fast hands. They're going to take the fielder on, and Kozaki Bilias has fumbled it. End up with a single.
New Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
So 1 over remains. Kalimulla is going to bowl it, and Sampal Kami and Rohit Paudel will try to drive Nepal up to that 160. They might even fancy north of that. It is funny to think of how many good patches they have had through this No Frills T20 Cup, and how they've lost 2 games.
Yeah, and I was talking with Manali on an earlier rotation. Just when you think you have a match figured out, the first day kind of changed things. A hot bat, hit some boundaries. Just every ball matters that much more in this format.
Well, we just got to. So there's a lot of space for Rohit Paudel now to target as he comes on to strike. It's forced an extra gap in the field. Just see if we can get a look at the field. So that's the first time we've seen that fielding rate penalty applied. So you can see there.
It's like a quasi power play.
Oh, great skills from Kalimulla. Gets the Yorker in right into the block hole. Choose as the fielding captain as to where you want to bowl your first over from. So they've gone with the pavilion end, which means you have to bowl the 20th and final with the shorter boundary down the ground. But what he might be saying is, I've got the bigger boundary to the leg side, and he's got a bit lucky because there's 2 right-handers at the crease. If Gulshan Jar, Kushal Mala were still there, they'd have that short leg side to target. Oh, this is excellent bowling. It's so difficult to hit the block hole again and again. Kalimulla, he does it back to back.
Beautiful. Beautiful bowling right there. I mean, coming in with the penalty, you were thinking big over for Nepal, but thanks to a few good balls, looks like Oman might be able to escape with minimal damage.
it for 4 more.
And got just enough to put the ball over the outstretched arms of the Oman fielder. Get it to that boundary. Take a look at this replay. See him turn it upside down. Just a little flick, and that's all it takes. 4 points. 4 runs.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
We're gonna smash the points and the pitches out of you.
We got it.
5 bowls and runs. Or bowls and runs, of course. Just wonder, is he better trying to hit down the ground? Mid-on is up in the circle. So that 57-metre boundary is very, very exposed.
You know, at this point, last couple balls. If it was me, Lenny, I'd be swinging for the fences.
And I think that's what most would think. And look at the final over. 3 dot balls in it. That's a big momentum shift.
Yeah.
Be desperate for a boundary here. And look at this extraordinary fielding position. Never seen this before in a T20 International. You put one in specifically for the reverse scoop. So it means that mid-on is open. Powdell has to surely look down the ground. It's where he tries to hit it, but the Yorker's jammed in. Camby won't be able to get back for the second. Rohit Powdell will be left undefeated. Fluency that they had throughout the innings, maybe they'd have liked 165, 170. Ultimately, they'll have to be satisfied with a really entertaining first innings of 157 for 7.
Especially with that time penalty advantage going into that last over. Oman's got to be feeling good about themselves.